to my Flagstaff home. Today I'm here to show you how you can reuse those glass candle jars that you get. Mine mostly come from Bath & Body Works, although I do have some on occasion from Yankee Candle Company. I've always felt in the past when I finished a candle, I've always thought, oh, I don't want to throw out this jar, but how am I going to get the wax and the soot and everything out of here so I could actually reuse it? And so I'm sad to say that in the past I have thrown out, I'm going to throw the jar right here, but I've thrown out many of these, and now I so wish that I could have those back because I have learned how to clean these things off. And so I have found uses for 3 so far in my home, and I have this one that I'm going to work on today, and I have another one that's, well, I'll show you that later. I'll show you why it's not here. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how to do that. But let me show you what you can use some of these jars for. Now, my first one, this is one from Bath & Body Works. Sometimes Bath & Body Works candles just have a pattern on top and not, here's one that has snowflake kind of things. And this one is just a little pattern. And sometimes they actually say Bath & Body Works, and that doesn't really bother me to see that it's got the name of the company on there. Or this one says Yankee Candle on top. And I don't mind that because, you know, they're great jars, really sturdy and perfect for certain things. So let me show you this first one that I used for Q-tips. It is the perfect size for Q-tips. They, you know, absolutely fit beautifully in here, standing up. And just such a nice jar, and so that's really nice to have on the counter in my bathroom. This one right here, which is a Yankee Candle Company jar, this one I use for cotton, like makeup remover pad kind of things, and so this is perfect for that. Now let me just warn you, if you are, warn you, sounds really scary, but certain jars are going to be too narrow to actually clean out unless you have tiny hands or you have a small child who can help you. Because this one was fine. I could fit my hand in here perfectly to clean it out and everything, but I had one that was Yankee Candle that was about this tall, maybe a little taller, but it was a little bit more narrow, and I have pretty big hands. So when I was trying to get in there to clean it out, I actually put too much pressure on the glass and it cracked. So if you're thinking you want to reuse candles, you might want to look at your candle jars differently in the future and see if they would be easy to clean out. But yeah, this is so simple to do. Oh, I have one more to show you. One of my candles that I got from Bath & Body Works last year, I think, didn't come with a lid. Just had a little paper thing on it. And anyway, so I'm getting a text now. But anyway, so what I did is I tried to think of a way that I could use this that would not need a way to use it so that it wouldn't need to have a lid. And so what I have done here is I've taken all the readers. You know, when you get to be my age and you can't see anything anymore, I end up with just tons of readers, and they're all over the house. And so I have this little jar, and I just put the readers in there. So when I start gathering them up, I have a place to put them, and both my husband and I can grab these and use them when we need to. So this one doesn't need a lid for this. It wouldn't work anyway. I mean, I suppose I could have used it for that, but this is better anyway. It's wider and it holds more. So yeah, just some different uses. You could use this for kind of craft sort of things, craft items. What else? Office supply kinds of things. Not that you would ever have this many paper clips, but maybe to put sticky note pads, or sky's the limit. It could even be if you had one that didn't have a lid on it, it could even be a jar that would hold markers or pens. Okay, so how do you get them cleaned up? That's what I'm going to show you. It starts, let me just kind of walk you through. It starts by taking your candle when you have burned it to where the wick just goes out, it won't hold a flame. There will be a little layer of wax in the bottom, and you need to get that out. The easiest way to get that out is to take this jar and stick it in the freezer. I just will put it in the freezer overnight. Once it's frozen, then you can take a knife, kind of jab it into the wax, and it will crack, and then you can pop the pieces out. Inevitably, you're going to end up with some little metal things on the bottom that hold the wicks. and you need to get those off. Sometimes they pop off really easily. They will always come off better. Stop texting me. They'll always come back off better if they're frozen. So make sure they don't warm up. And then there's sometimes like a little blob of a glue kind of a substance. That's usually the most difficult thing to get off. It's easiest to just get in there and use your fingernail to kind of dig it off. Once you get a part of it separated from the glass, then it usually comes off fairly easily. I've tried using a knife or a spoon to do that, and with not a lot of success. So the best way really is to get your hand in there. After you do that, you want to get the label off. Sometimes they peel off easily. Let's see about this one here. See if it's going to peel off. Yeah. So this one, you get the label off, and this one didn't even leave adhesive on it, so that was easy. Sometimes they leave a mess on the outside, and then you've got to take care of that. So now we've got this jar that has the bottom pieces, the metal pieces taken out of it, and the label off. And so I've got a little bit of wax stuck in the bottom, and I'm gonna pop that out. And then I'm gonna wash it in a little bit of soapy, warm dishwater. And the key really to the whole thing is the use of vinegar, which will remove wax, it will remove soot, it will remove any adhesive that's stuck to the outside, and that really is your biggest secret to the whole thing, is to use just white vinegar and a paper towel, and just keep rubbing it around until it all comes off, and then you wash it in, in some warm soapy water, and then you're done. So I have one that's in the freezer right now, and I want to kind of show you, because I'd like to show you the little metal things that you're going to have. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out and walk you through how to do this. All right, so here is a candle that it has been in the freezer, and it has 3 wicks in it. It is this should crack nice and easily. So I'm just going to take this knife and pop it in here. Let me set the camera down. Okay, I inserted the knife several different times to make a bunch of different cracks, and now I'm going to go ahead and pop the wax out. Okay, so there's all the wax that I popped out of here, and those are the little metal things that hold the wicks. And so now I'm going to try to reach my, I don't want to break my fingernails, but it is best to do when they're cold. They pop out easier. Let me go ahead and try to do this not one-handed. That might help. Okay, I just got them out, and what I found is the easiest way to do this and to be able to preserve your fingernails at the same time is to take, instead of trying to dig under the edge, just hang on to this part, the stem, and just start pulling, and then it will start to separate from there. Now, what you'll see here though is that, if I can get this out of here, the bottom has these gummy things at the bottom, and we need to get those out. So that one, I'm gonna have to get my fingernails in there and do. It is kind of gummy though, and so if you can get one part of it lifted up, then it kind of peels off fairly easily. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's easier to get the gummy stuff off when they're frozen, and as I was working on that, they had softened up too much, and so I popped the jar back into the freezer so I can get those gummy things to harden up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of the cleaning process with this other jar that I showed you earlier in the video. It's the one where I peeled off the label. Now, you might have to soak the jar if the label doesn't come off as easily as the one I showed you, but this one came off super easy. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to get some white vinegar, and I'm going to pour a little bit in here, and then just start using a paper towel to wipe it around and clean it up. So I'm just going to pour in just a little bit, and you can keep adding more if you want to. That's actually probably more than I need. That I probably put in like 1/4 of a cup right there. Probably don't only need more, like a few tablespoons, but yeah, that's what I'm going to start with for now. So now it's all finished. This did take a little muscle. You have to put a little muscle into it, and partway through I washed it again in some warm soapy water. And then I went back with a little bit more vinegar and then washed it again in some warm soapy water, and it's all nice and clean now. And this one has a lid that goes on it, so I'll have to figure out what I'm going to use it for. But anyway, yeah, that was it. This took me probably all of 10 minutes to do. Okay, so wasn't that easy? It is really such a simple thing. And now you get these great jars that you can use in your house for various reasons. And so I hope you'll give this a try. And if you do, or if you have done this in the past, I'd love to hear what you're using your jars for. Because I've got these two now and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with them. So I'd love to hear your suggestions for what they could be used for. And I hope this was a helpful video for you, and I hope you'll join me again on my Flagstaff home. I haven't been doing very frequent videos on this channel. I've been doing more frequent videos on my other channel, Busy Being Jen, which is linked in the space below if you're interested. But this one, I usually do a ton of videos on this channel in the summer because I do a lot of stuff with my garden and crafting and different things like that in the summer. So just be on the lookout for those coming up. But I'm going to try to do some more frequent videos in the coming weeks. And then when the semester ends at the university, I'll have more time to do some filming. Anyway, hope this was helpful to you guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that button and YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos. And I hope I'll see you again on my Flagstaff home. Bye-bye.